Welcome to this short introduction to Maharishi AyurVeda Health courses. My name is Dr. Rainer Picha. I'm a cardiologist from Austria. And for more than 20 years, I've focused on Maharishi AyurVeda, developing courses and teaching and practicing Maharishi AyurVeda. And in this short video today, we want to introduce all the courses that we have developed and have been developed in the past. And for this, I would like to ask now my colleague, Dr. Walter Mölk, who is a general practitioner from Austria and who since over 30 years has developed course materials in Maharishi AyurVeda, and he has been practicing Maharishi AyurVeda and teaching Maharishi AyurVeda. So, very experienced physician in that area. And Dr. Mölk will now give a short overview of the various courses that we are offering. And then we will go through each of these courses and give a little bit more details about it, how one can apply for it, what are the prerequisites, and so forth. So Dr. Mölk, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Picha. It's a great joy to present you all these different courses. And for that, we have developed a kind of overview chart, which I want to share now. And this overview chart, it's called Total Knowledge of Health. You see the different areas. On the left side, the different levels of health, starting at the bottom level of pure being, or modern science would call it unified field of all the laws of nature, the area of the mind, and then the body, behavior, society, and environment. This spans the total range of natural law. And because, as Maharishi said, if we want to develop a healthcare system, which is truly complete, total knowledge of health, then we have to cover all these areas. So the different levels of health, from the environment, cosmic level, social, collective, behavioral, mental, physiological, then on the biochemical, cellular level, genetic level, and finally the unified field of all the laws of nature. And on the right side of the chart, you see the preventive and therapeutic modalities. And with this, you see it's a multimodality approach of Maharishi AyurVeda, which covers the whole range of natural law. Here, you see the Vedic astrology, Jyotish, and Yagya. There are separate courses. You will hear from other organizations of the movement about that. And then an important area, collective health, public health and world peace, yogic flying in groups, also a very fundamental aspect of health, not only individual, but collective health. Vedic architecture, Sthapatya Veda. You will hear from the Ministry of Sthapatya Veda, Vedic architecture. Vedic organic agriculture, also related to health, because this is the basis for healthy and nourishing food. And then we have the what we call Ayurveda proper areas. This is the daily and seasonal routines, Dinacharya and Ritucharya. And there we have a special courses, short courses on daily routine, and then Ayurvedic diet and herbal therapy, Dravya Guna. And also an important aspect is self-pulse reading, prevention, diet, self-pulse reading. These are the courses. Then Ayurvedic rejuvenation therapy, Rasayana therapy. This will be part of the training as Maharishi AyurVeda Health Professional. Then the Ayurvedic massage therapy, Abhyanga and Marma. There we have courses for Panchakarma technicians and special courses also for Maharishi AyurVeda Marma therapy. These are all the different departments of the College of Perfect Health, which Maharishi has inaugurated and founded actually in 2004. And in 2007, it was then finalized and called the Maharishi College of Perfect Health International, to which all the courses can be taught. And Dr. Picha and myself, we had the great fortune to work with Maharishi and also with Dr. Neda on all these different programs. So, and then we have the Ayurvedic purification program, Panchakarma, also a special training as Panchakarma technician, and yoga therapy, yoga asanas and pranayama, a short course, 16-hour course on yoga asanas, then a yoga asana masterclass, a little bit more detailed, and the Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor training course. This is a 300 training course. And then this is a unique aspect of Ayurveda, that all the 5 senses are used to create balance in our physiology. So here, Vedic aromatherapy, then courses also on light therapy with gems, then sound and music therapy, Vedic sound and Vedic vibration and Gandharva Veda music. We'll hear later a little bit more about that. And then the model of Vedic physiology, discovery of Veda and human physiology, based on the discovery of Dr. Neda on the correspondence between the Vedic sounds and the human physiology. And finally, meditation therapy, transcendental meditation and DMCT program. And all these different approaches, the goal is to achieve a state of swasthya. This is the Sanskrit word for health. We have 2 parts in it. Sva means the self, and sthya means to be established in one's own self, transcendental consciousness. And all these different therapies have on one side a very specific effect on different levels on health, maybe one more on collective health, the other more on mental, and maybe others more on the behavioral level. So different levels, but all aim to enliven the inner intelligence of the physiology. And if we can see at the bottom here, it says perfect health and invincibility is only possible at the level of the unified field of all the laws of nature, which lies at the basis of environmental, social, behavioral, and physiological, cellular, genetic, and mental health. So in other words, Maharishi AyurVeda is consciousness-based medicine or unified field-based medicine with the goal to create this connection with this inner level of perfect health and harmony and the expression of our physiology. So this is an overview of the different aspects, and now we will go into more detail and we'll cover one after the other of these different departments and the courses which they offer.
So now we will continue with the various courses and their presentations. In the first block of courses, there are actually 4, we call them short courses because they consist of 16 lessons only. They are meant for the general practice, for the general public, for laymen and lay people, so not necessarily for health professionals. And those courses are first of all the self-pulse reading course. In Maharishi AyurVeda, we use Nadi Vigyan, which means pulse reading, as a tool to diagnose a person imbalances, and so that one can take preventive measures to balance those imbalances. And pulse reading is the main access to those imbalances, Ayurvedic imbalances in the physiology. So this is called self-pulse reading course. And the next course that we will present, short health course, is the course on good health through prevention, how to live a life with perfect daily routine and diet and so forth to prevent diseases and to stay in balance, to maintain a balanced state of health. And the third course is a course that specifically focuses on diet, digestion, and nutrition. So all about our digestive tract and how to properly digest and select healthy food and so forth. And the last of these 4 short health courses is a course on Yoga Asana, Maharishi Yoga Asanas. So this, I will ask now Dr. Mölk to go through each of those courses and to give a little bit more details and how one can learn it and what are the prerequisites and so forth. So Dr. Mölk, please go ahead.
Thank you for the introduction of these 4 courses. And these 4 courses are actually the basis for all the training in Maharishi AyurVeda. Because also when you want to go further and or if you are a health professional, in the health professional courses, these 4 courses are also part of that training. I will show now a few slides from the self-pulse reading course. Self-pulse reading for good health, detecting balance and imbalance in the physiology by feeling one's own pulse. Now, here you can see the different areas which we cover in the course. The causes and effects of balance and imbalance in the physiology, feeling the degree of balance and imbalance in the pulse, also to feel the daily and seasonal cycles in the pulse, also from the diet, and how, if there is imbalance, how this progresses, and how one can protect one from that to use one's own inner intelligence. And this course is taught in 16 lessons over a longer period of time, so that you have also the possibility to learn at home and practice on your own. And it says 16 lessons, but from the numbers of hours, it will be about 24 hours. It is offered in different formats, offered in residence courses, but also on online. Now, here I want to show what are the benefits of self-pulse reading. One, of course, is detecting of imbalances at the early stage, because slight variations in the acting of the 3 basic principles of the physiology, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, can be detected in the pulse if there is anything a little bit out of balance. And also the second, detecting the cause of imbalances. And the third thing is very interesting. It says maintaining health and restoring balance by enlivening the body's inner intelligence. Because when we have the attention on our own physiology by feeling our own pulse, then something happens. And according to measurement theory in physics, attention enlivens the object of attention. This was also one important aspect when Maharishi has enlivened this knowledge of self-pulse reading, which is also not very much known in India. In the Ayurvedic colleges, to our great surprise, it's not taught, only a theory. And Maharishi has revived this precious knowledge together with leading experts in Ayurveda, leading Vaidyas, and also with Western-trained doctors, to develop a system so that everyone can learn this. And as Maharishi said, everyone, especially also in the family, the mother should know her own pulse and also can feel the pulse on children and sees if there is any imbalance starting and then correct it. So this is the process of the self-referral process of self-pulse reading, enlivens the inner intelligence of the body. So, of course, part of the training is that you learn in great detail how to do the pulse, how correct performance of the pulse, how to reading. And then very important also, you will have in this course also the basic principles of Vata, which is the principle of movement, which is responsible for transportation, movement and communication, and is related to the shrotas, the channels, and then Pitta, based on the 5 elements, water and fire, responsible for metabolism, digestion, and transformation. And you see here, there are some white spots there. This is for your learning, because you will get the handouts also, and then you can fill it in, and on the screen you see then the answer. So here you get an overview of the different areas in Ayurveda. And this chart actually shows all the basic principles. And in further courses, one goes then more in depth. Here is, for example, it says Pitta is related to the Agnis, is the digestive fire. Then later you will learn there are actually 13 types of Agnis in the physiology and so on. So we can go in more detail. Then, of course, where is Vata and Pitta Kapha located in the physiology? What are the main centers? And what are the characteristics of a balanced pulse? How do you know that your pulse is balanced? This will be an important factor. And what are the characteristic features in the pulse of Ojas? Ojas is that final substance, most refined substance of the digestive system. But on a more deeper level, also, it's the first expression of consciousness. It's on the gap between consciousness and matter, and responsible for the immune system and all what keeps the physiological functions together. And now, how do you feel this quality in your pulse? And this is a unique feature of Maharishi Ayurveda, that all the different aspects of Ayurveda are related back to consciousness. And therefore, we call it consciousness-based medicine. And also, you are becoming now a consciousness consultant. So therefore, this is an important point here. For example, the 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, have actually their origin in consciousness, the observer, the process of observation, and the observed, or in Sanskrit, Rishidevata Chandas. So we will go in depth in that. Then daily routine, what to do, different times of the day, will be part of the program, and how these cycles, biorhythm change, and how you can feel this also in the pulse, and also during the time of the year, in the seasons. Then an important concept is Aroma. Aroma means impurities in the body as a result from incomplete digestion and metabolism, and how to detect it in the pulse and how to avoid it. And then also what happens if doshas are out of balance and, let's say, Vata moves into Pitta, and what are the symptoms and how you can feel it in the pulse. So very detailed. And even in the second part of the course, we go even deeper into subdivisions of the different doshas. We have the 3 doshas, but each of dosha has 5 subdivisions. And here the locations and their functions, prana, udana, samana, apana, and vyana, and also how to detect this in the pulse. And I mentioned already Agni, the digestive fire. There are different strengths, different types of the digestive fire, and also how to feel this in the pulse. And many more, and of course, diet. Here is just a simple but very important overall chart, what to do if you have a Vata imbalance, which food you should favor, what should avoid. In addition, you will also get handout with very detailed description, which kind of oil, which kind of sugar, and which kind of grain you should do, and which kind of fruit, and so on. So this is the course on self-pulse reading. It's a very enjoyable course, very deep knowledge, and very practical, because it connects you by feeling your own pulse with your own physiology, and thereby you start the self-healing processes. So this is the one of the basic courses. Then in the other courses, which we will cover then the next step, diet, prevention, there will be also a little bit about self-pulse reading, but not so much deep as we go in the self-pulse course. Now we will go to the next of the 16 lesson courses, diet, digestion, and nutrition. This is a very important aspect because diet and metabolism and digestion is at the basis of good health. And I will show now an overview chart of this course. The subtitle is Promoting Optimal Nourishment and Health Through Balanced Diet, Digestion, and Nutrition. And here a short overview. It shows about the basic principles of proper diet, digestion, nutrition, and you learn to select your own specific diet according to your body type, age, according to the time of the day and season. So we will discuss the nature of food and its inherent qualities, quantity and combination of foods, guidelines for the intake of food, selection and digestion of food in relation to age, state of health environment, and the mechanics of digestion of food, balance and imbalance, and how the digestion is influenced by the mind, by the senses and emotions. And also what is the role of food for higher states of consciousness. And of course, several simple recipes for the preparation of delicious and healthy food. And here is a very important quote from Maharishi, which shows the broad range of how we view diet. Maharishi says, diet is anything that is taken in from any field of perception, through any sense of perception, any mode of mind, and any mode of intellect. So diet is much more than just eating. And I have mentioned already in the previous course that in Ayurveda, we use all the five senses, because all the five senses bring nourishment to the physiology, not only that what we eat. Here you see an overview of the different lessons. First introduction, and then the digestion in form of the three principles, basic principles of the physiology, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, how to improve digestion from the side of the physiology and from the side of consciousness, which factors you have to consider to have optimal digestion, the qualities of food, the effects of food on the physiology, preparation of food, and how to enhance the quality of food through proper preparations, how much to eat, the time factor we will discuss, and also discovery of Veda and Vedic literature, the discovery of Dr. Neda that human physiology is the expression of the Vedic sounds. Here even you see there's even a more detailed description. For example, you will learn also the different process, how to process food, and then how to make yogurt, how to make buttermilk, how to paneer, fresh cheese, and ghee recipe, mung bean soup, chapati, unleavened flatbread, and how to make a thermos flask lunch. So it's also always very practical, the knowledge, in addition to general principles and how to adapt the food according to the time of the day and the season.
And Walter, if I may add, this course I feel is really one of the most important, and it also reflects in the development of modern medicine. I'm a cardiologist, as I said in the introduction, and diet has never been a risk factor, astonishingly, for heart disease. But since the Inter-Heart study a few years ago, diet is actually now one of the main risk factors, and the WHO says that, and this is astonishing, 50%, it means half of all cardiovascular disease, half of all heart attacks are due to improper diet. So this shows how important it is to follow a proper daily routine and diet. And also there is an Ayurvedic saying that says if the diet is not proper, then the medicines, means also herbal medicines, are of no use. They just don't work. And on the other side, if the diet is good, then the medicines are not needed. So this even from Ayurveda emphasizes the huge importance of diet and nutrition and digestion, because it's not only the quality of food that you take, which has to be good, but it's also the quality of digestion to make, all just pure energy out of the food you ingest. So that is a thought, and diet is really one of the three pillars next to good sleep and daily routine. Diet is most important.
Thank you, Dr. Picha, because it's really also a great strength of Ayurveda, this knowledge of diet according to the personal constitution and the different environmental rhythms. It's
even said that Ayurveda is the champion of proper nutrition and diet, to really personalize and tailor to the need of a person.
I will just to conclude that about the diet course here, just show what you will learn in this course about the food we eat and the origin of the food in pure intelligence, then the nature and quality of different foods, the proper amount, and then how the tissues are in the body are balanced and nourished through food, that our strength of digestion varies at different times and in different individuals, how and when and where to eat, and what are the influences from the environment and our emotions. Then the suitability of the foods at different times in different individuals, at different locations, the overall strength and immunity of the body in relation to ojas, which we said is the final product of metabolism, and how the body can remain free from waste materials, which is in Ayurveda called Aroma. And finally, the relationship of diet to consciousness, intellect, emotions, and senses. Now, as next, we will speak about the 16-lesson course on good health through prevention, eliminating the basis of disease by bringing life into accord with natural law. Now, this course brings the other two courses to fulfillment. It has also a little bit about pulse diagnosis and about principles of diet, but sees health in a more comprehensive and larger way. And there we will discuss how to bring our life, all areas of our life actually, into harmony with natural law. And course includes self-referent consciousness, the importance as the basis of prevention of disease, then about diet and digestion, metabolism, sensory experience, the role of sensory experience is a highlight in this course, and how to strengthen the immune system and reverse the aging process, and proper behavior to get the support from natural law, maintaining harmony between the individual and cosmic rhythms, and also the importance of collective health. Maharishi Jyotish and Yagya, these are this Vedic astrology for prevention and future imbalances. And finally, national and global health through prevention programs to create coherence and invincibility in collective consciousness. And here, in the beginning, again, a quote of Maharishi: prevention is the spontaneous ability to prevent violation of natural law through all thought, speech, and action. There, in this course, we will go in detail how to bring all these different areas of health into one framework so that all areas of our life are in balance and in accord with natural law. So we have also here, of course, the basis of the doshas and the diet and the importance of metabolism. Then one interesting chapter about preventing disease by avoiding unhealthy habits. Then the cycles of nature, balanced exercise, also one aspect of this course. The seasonal routine, we go here in more detail than in the diet course. Then Maharishi Jyotish, Vedic astrology for diverting the danger which has not yet come. This is part of this course. We will hear about the immune system and how to strengthen it through promotion of ojas. Then the role of Maharishi's transcendental meditation to create harmony in the body, and the role of Panchakarma, this is here called Vedic Physiological Purification Program, use of herbal medicine, herbal rasayanas to strengthen the immune system, more detail about the role of self-referential consciousness, and again, the role of Veda in human physiology, developing higher states of consciousness for prevention. And the role of metabolism, of experience, not only of diet, but all of our experiences. And finally, preventative government, creating coherent national consciousness for national health and invincible defense. So these are the areas of the prevention course. And here in more detail, you see there are over 200 charts. We will discuss in this course and go through. And here it starts with the importance of healthy diet for prevention and so on. There's also 16 lessons as the other courses.
And
it's very rich.
And Walter, I think in one section you mentioned avoid the danger that has not yet come, and I think this was one of Maharishi's most loved quotes from the Vedic literature, Heyam Dukam Anagatam, which means avoid the danger that has not yet come. So Maharishi really focused a lot on this, and this is a real strength of Ayurveda. And again, I want to mention in modern medicine, prevention is now seen as the key to handle any healthcare system in the world, because it's even financially not manageable anymore. And there is a saying even in modern medicine that says any dollar spent in prevention is worth $100 in curing the disease that you could prevent through prevention. So this also shows how important the need is for preventing diseases, not only from traditional Ayurvedic medicine, but also from modern medicine.
So let's continue now with the next course. This is the course on Maharishi Yoga Asanas, creating physical balance and mind-body coordination for ideal health and well-being, a 16-lesson course. But there are also other courses in the yoga department. This is the Yoga Asana Masterclass and the Maharishi Yoga Asana Instructor Training course. But before we go into details, I just wanted to show a short video of Maharishi where he speaks about yoga, physical, mental, and intellectual yoga.
Maharishi Global Press Conferences, 20 November 2002.
Maharishi practices referred to as yoga have become extremely popular in the United States. Every city has dozens of yoga studios and yoga instructors. Cover stories on it appear in magazines. People practice yoga postures or asanas to the rhythm of music. They often treat yoga as a calisthenic. I'm curious, Maharishi, about what you make of this trend. Is it an indication of Vedic civilization moving into Western civilization? Or would you have any advice for these millions of practitioners of what they call yoga?
The advice is to continue yoga on the physical level and start and continue yoga on the mental level and start to continue yoga on the intellectual level and live in daily life yoga on the self level. On all levels of life, physical, mental, intellectual, and on the level of transcendental being, on all levels, yoga will help to progress in every way, in every field of life. Yoga means unity. Unity is more and more bringing unified wholeness in the field of diversity. And one of the yoga sayings says that yoga is superior action, a better quality of action when you want, then you practice yoga. Practice yoga, practice yoga. And yoga on all levels, all. Transcendental meditation is all yoga. I had to call it transcendental meditation, a new name, because I felt yoga has been commonly understood in terms of physical exercises. That is also a yoga, but it's a level of its own. Then mental yoga, intellectual yoga, and then the self-referral yoga, self-referral consciousness, unified field of all the laws of nature, the field of consciousness, which is more basic to all the physical evolutions. You know? Yoga is a good word, but it should be properly understood, practiced, and the result will be holistic evolution of life.
So I think this was a very good and broad overview and gives a different perspective of yoga when we now go into different details of the courses. First, now let's start with the 16-lesson course on yoga asanas and pranayama, creating physiological balance and mind-body coordination for ideal health and well-being. Now, the topics in this course: yoga and the integration of all aspects of life, which we have just heard from Maharishi, enlivening the intelligence in all levels of physiology to certain yoga postures and breathing exercises. We will speak also about the Bhagavad Gita as the supreme textbook of yoga. And you will learn about scientific research validating the benefits of yoga exercises, and again, discovery of Veda and the Vedic literature in human physiology, in particular also the correspondence, what Professor Neda has found in his research about the structure of the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and the association fibers in the cerebral cortex. And finally, developing the state of yoga through Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation and the MCT program, creating higher states of consciousness, the fulfillment of the practice of Maharishi Yoga. Quote from Maharishi: time spent on asanas and dhyan, transcendental meditation, it's a golden time of the day. And here an overview of the 16 lessons. We go through all the different postures, and you will also always have quotes from the Vedic literature, some research, and how to practice and what to do and what not to do. So this is a very practical course, and also learn about the Bhagavad Gita and Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga in the new light, brought to light by Maharishi, which brings a complete new understanding of Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. Then, of course, pranayama, connecting every breath of individual life with the soft breath of cosmic life. And so we go to the different areas of Ashtanga Yoga, rules of conduct, yama and niyama. In each lesson, one specific posture is practiced, and one learns the benefits of the physiology and also about research. So this is the 16 lesson course on yoga asanas and pranayama. Then I said that we have here also more courses is offered by the department of the Maharishi College of Perfect Health. Gudrun Buchzig is the head of this department. And recently we have developed the Maharishi Yoga Asana Masterclass. This is based on the 16 lesson course, but in more detailed. I will show you the announcement here. Maharishi Yoga Asana Masterclass, advanced course for correct performance for all meditators, siddhas, and governors. So this is a course for all those who are completely new and have no experience in asanas, but also for those who have already practiced this since many years. Because we go here more in detail how to practice each posture, how to go into each posture, how to hold it and how to come out, and also what to do and what not to do, what mistakes one should avoid. So it's in great detail. And again, just to remind, when we speak here about yoga asanas and pranayama, there's always a unity of three elements: practicing of the asanas, practicing of pranayama, as a preparation then for transcendental meditation, to reach the state of yoga. Just here, a feedback from one of the course participants from previous similar courses. The way you will do asanas after taking the course will feel fundamentally different from the way you did asanas in the past. For the first time in 45 years, I feel I'm practicing asanas correctly. Each time I practice asana, I notice immediate benefit. Now I really enjoy yoga asanas. So this course will be offered for the first time now. These are the course leaders which have been participants of the recent Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor course, Livia Kege and Cornelia Jung. I will be also there, and Gudrun Buchzig, who is a certified yoga teacher, advanced at 500 hours level, who is qualified to train and certified yoga teachers worldwide. Now, the course will be structured in evening lessons online. And also at the weekend, we have then a live demonstration, and those who want can open their camera, and then they will guide it, and so that they know that they perform the asanas correctly. So this is the structure of the Maharishi Yoga Asana Masterclass. Will be offered now for the first time. And later also we will have it in other countries offered, and we're looking forward to that feedback. And those who now go to the Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor training course, the graduates of that, they can later teach this Maharishi Yoga Asana Masterclass. And they are also then able to teach the 16-lesson course, which I have just mentioned, in a professional way. Now we will continue with the training in Maharishi Yoga Asanas, and the most comprehensive training which we offer from the department is a training as Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor. I can show on the screen the course announcement. This was from last year, but in principle it's the same. It's the Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor training phase 1. It's a new 300-hour certified training program. There are about 40 hours of webinars and 8 to 10 days in residence. And in this phase 1, you go to the different levels of the Maharishi Yoga Asana 16-lesson course, which we have already mentioned, but in much more detail. And also we will see very special tapes from Maharishi about the value of Maharishi Yoga Asanas, and in particular also the deep understanding what yoga is. And this phase 1, there are several modules where then you will watch also special videos made by Gudrun Buchzig about each posture in great detail, so that you are then also able to guide others to perform the asanas correctly. And in phase 2, you apply this knowledge. That means you are then teach yourself these 16-lesson courses to the general public or in the Maharishi TM centers or in weekend or residence courses. And you also will learn basic principles of yoga, anatomy and physiology, and about more detail about Veda and the Vedic literature and human physiology. And you're also supposed to write a short thesis. And then phase 3 will be in residence, where you learn also more detail how to correct practice on others and teaching methodologies, and the mechanics of the Maharishi Yoga Asanas, also how to perform and teach Surya Namaskar, and additional new asanas and new types of pranayamas, and the first introduction into yoga therapy. So this is this 300 hours training as Maharishi Yoga Asana instructor course. This course will be available periodically, first partly online, and then now when the chronic corona situation relaxes, then also in residence, at least the last sections. And we heard also that at MIU, there is the plan to, and has already started, asana bachelor in Maharishi Yoga Asanas, in asanas and Ayurveda. So now let's continue with a very delightful topic. We will speak about Maharishi AyurVeda Aroma Therapy. I want to ask Andréia Castilho, the head of the department, to give us a short overview of the courses which we offer from the Maharishi College of Perfect Health International. Please, Andréia.
Thank you, Dr. Mölk. Hello, everyone. It's a joy to be here talking to you about Maharishi Aromatherapy today and why this is a very important modality of Maharishi Ayurveda and the importance of it to restore and maintain balance in our physiology and in our overall health. And at this point, I would like to share my screen and share with you a short presentation. So, Maharishi AyurVeda Aromatherapy. There are many phases to this. It's based on Maharishi Ayurveda. It's based on aromas, and it's a therapy. So it's the use of aromas as a therapy based on the principles of Maharishi Ayurveda. And therefore, it's based on the principle that perfect health and balance is achieved through balancing the doshas in our physiology. So this is the basis of Maharishi Aromatherapy and why it's unique. And one of the reasons why it's unique is because the sense of smell is unique, and I will explain why, but also because it's based on Maharishi Ayurveda. And the reason why the sense of smell is unique, one of the reasons why it is because the aromatic molecules, they are transmitted directly to the limbic system and without any interference of processing via the cerebral cortex. And the limbic system is right at the center of our brain, and I will show you in a few minutes how. And it regulates the autonomic nervous system, which controls automatic functions in our physiology like breathing, heartbeat, digestion. So we don't have to tell ourselves to breathe or how to breathe or tell our heart to beat. This is done automatically by the autonomic nervous system, and the limbic system regulates this. And it also regulates our emotions and therefore our psychology and our memory and level of motivation and even creativity. And therefore, it's very important that we have some kind of therapy that will enliven the homeostasis of our whole physiology through the limbic system. The sense of smell, it happens through 10 million nerve cells that are in the roof of the nasal cavity. I will show you a picture of how this happens. Through 80 million fine filaments of the olfactory nerves, which receive an enormous amount of information. So this is the limbic system, and you can see here this whole structure in purple and yellow and red and blue. And it sits right here at the center of our brain. And now we see someone smelling an aroma through a bottle of essential oil, and how this is transmitted to the brain through the filaments, those 80 million filaments that I mentioned. And the olfactory bulb then transmits this directly to the limbic system, which is right in our brain, which crosses the blood-brain barrier, which is a system that protects the brain. But in this case, the effect will be felt immediately without any obstacle by the limbic system in the brain, and therefore influence our whole physiology, psychology, mind, and even can have an effect in the spiritual aspect of our lives. So on all levels of life. Scents will stimulate the release of neurotransmitters, which are very important substances for many biochemical reactions in our physiology. And you may have heard of endorphins and serotonin and encéphalines. They are called the bliss hormones. They generate feelings of well-being and happiness. And this is how an aroma can influence our whole psychology as well, not only our physiology, but our psychology. And this will, through this chain of events and of effects of the experiencing the fragrance, essential oils will enliven the self-healing mechanisms in our body, and they're effective to neutralize free radicals, which we know cause diseases. They can improve our vitality and life energy. Some oils are known to be energizing. And because the chemical composition of essential oils is that they're very small molecules, they also penetrate very deeply into the cells of our body. So in talking about how powerful essential oils are and the kind of effect that they have in our physiology and psychology, which is something that we start learning early on in the courses that we offer. Already in the foundation course, which is the first course that we take, we explain the whole way through which essential oils affect us, which you have seen a summary of. And we also talk about considering the effects that the essential oils have, how important it is that they are pure and of the highest quality. So they should be free from pesticides and herbicides, but also synthetic chemicals that can be added to them, adulterating the essential oils. And this too, we learn on the foundation course. And throughout our courses, we emphasize this as well, but already right at the beginning, we start learning about the importance of the purity and of using only 100% natural from reputable sources, and also that go through a proper distillation process so that their chemical compounds are preserved and therefore the right therapeutic effect is achieved. So it's very important that we only buy the highest quality essential oils and only use the highest quality essential oils that are not adulterated. And we also learn already on the foundation course, but also throughout the phases of training as consultants during the phase 1 and the phase 2 of the training as consultants, we learn to identify essential oils by their botanical names and by their chemotypes, which are different varieties of the same essential oil, and the plant parts used. This is very important because different plant parts can even have different effects. And also essential oils should not be blended with other oils or other chemicals or aromatic chemicals. So they should not be adulterated so that we can have the proper therapeutic effect. And this we learn on the foundation course, and on the phase 1 of the consultant training course, we go more deeply into the chemical compositions of essential oils and their therapeutic effects, and also safe use of different essential oils with different chemical compositions. And the reason why the purity of essential oils is important and why we need to know their chemical composition is because adulteration is a widespread practice. And therefore, we need to know how to recognize when an essential oil is pure and have the correct effect. And adulterated oils have no therapeutic value, so it's very important that we know about this. Now, different chemical compounds will have different effects, and therefore we need to have a basis of the chemical compounds of essential oils, which we learn. We start to learn about this during the foundation course and more in depth, as I said, in the phase 1 of the consultant training course, because different chemical compounds will have different effects on the physical level, on the psychological level, and on the mental level, and even on the spiritual level. And therefore, learning about the chemistry of essential oils is very important, not only to learn about their effects, but also how to use them safely, because different chemical compounds have different properties and different requirements. And just to give you an idea, more than 3,000 aromatic compounds have been identified so far. We learn the basics, the most important families of chemical compounds. We go more deeply into that in the phase 1. And there are intricate relationships between the many different compounds, and this is still being researched, it's not completely understood, but by learning the families of compounds, then we learn about their specific therapeutic effects. So this is just an idea of the different families of chemical compounds that we learn about, such as monoterpene ketones, ethers, coumarins, esters, sesquiterpenols, monoterpenes, oxides. These are all the different families of chemical compounds that we learn about. We learn how to use each type safely. We learn different methods of application, dosage, times of day. All these things are important when we are applying essential oils in a therapeutic way. And the result of all this is that if we experience any imbalance in our physiology or psychology, essential oils can be used to restore order and balance or homeostasis in our physiology and psychology. And just to give you an idea of different things that I have mentioned, for example, if you know the botanical name of an essential oil, and then you know to which family of chemical compounds the essential oil belongs to, then you have an idea of how to use them and how safe they are, and even what kinds of precautions to take when using the essential oil. So in this case that I am giving you as an example, we have essential oil of thyme, which has different kinds of chemotypes or varieties, and therefore we need to learn about the different varieties. So in this case, Thymus vulgaris chemotype 2-ionol is a variety of thyme, which, like all the varieties of thyme, has important anti-infectious properties, but at the same time has a stimulating and regenerative effect on the liver cells. And this is not necessarily the case for all types of thyme, and it's safe to use. We also learn, especially during the foundation course, we learn about different methods of extraction, for example, distillation, which is the most common method used. Most essential oils we use are distilled, and this is done with an equipment whose diagram you can see here is called an alembic. And it's very important that the distillation process is carried out properly, which further emphasizes the need to use essential oils from reputable sources so that all those chemical compounds are properly expressed. Another method is cold expression, which is mostly used for citrus fruits. So in this picture, you see citrus fruits being cold pressed to produce essential oils. Another method is solvent extraction, used especially for very delicate flowers like jasmine, champaka, tuberose. When you use the flower and their yield is not very high, or they're very delicate flowers, and distillation is not an appropriate method. And there are other methods that we learn about, and each method will have certain consequences, so we have to learn how to use them properly according to the type of extraction as well. We also learn, and mostly we'll learn about hydrolates in the phase 2 of the consultant training course. And we will learn about hydrolates, which are a byproduct of steam distillation of essential oils. They have a more gentle action than the essential oils themselves, but at the same time, they're very powerful in terms of their therapeutic value. And we touch a little bit on this during the foundation course, but we go more deeply into it in the phase 2 of the consultant training course. So each one of these courses has a duration of 6 weeks if we have 3 sections a week. Each of them has a specific focus, drawing more and more knowledge of essential oils and teaching how to use them safely, dosage, time of day, and according to the desired effect, and how to use more than one essential oil at a time. All these details that you need to learn how to use them safely, but also to produce the effect that you want. So you wouldn't use, for example, an energizing oil in the evening. You would use a calming and even sedating oil in the evening to help with sleep, for example, with a good night's sleep. And through each phase, you will receive more information to train you as a consultant. And finally, you will be able to give consultations to the general public through a very specific method that we teach. And with this method, we learn how to balance the doshas and thereby bring a state of balance in health in the physiology.
Thank you, Andréia. This was really a brilliant overview and a good summary of these courses. So we plan the next courses will be probably this year, another consultation course, phase 1 and phase 2, and also maybe the end of the year as a foundation course.
Yes. So the cycle is we start with the foundation course, 6 weeks, and then we move on to the phase 1 of the consultant training course, and then the phase 2 of the consultant training course. And then you will be fully certified as a consultant.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this gives a good impression, and is one of the precious aspects of Maharishi AyurVeda, using the sense of smell, not only the sense of smell, but also the sense of touch, and also you inhale it, and also you ingest it. So it has from various aspects, using to the different channels to enliven the inner intelligence of the body. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very good.
So the next modality of Maharishi AyurVeda applications and courses is called Maharishi Light Therapy with gems. Maharishi has introduced this department as part of the Maharishi College of Perfect Health International, and assigned the goldsmith Roller, Joachim Roller, and his wife Iris Roller as the department heads, and also now their daughter Aurelia Roller is also actively helping in teaching and producing the technology, the beamer sets, the light beamer sets. And so this approach, for this approach, there is a course which is about 3 weeks. And now, due to the COVID pandemic situation, the course has been adapted so that the theoretical part is also available online. But for becoming a Maharishi Light Therapy practitioner, there is a need to be, hands-on and to be in a residence course and to learn how to apply the beamers. And for this, I would like to share with you the website of this approach. It's called mlg-world.com, and there's a short clip about 4 or 5 minutes, which starts with a few testimonials from this approach, and then also gives the explanation what it is, because it's about the use of precious stones, the gems, which are the most orderly structure on this planet, and how this can be infused into the human physiology by this light technology, Maharishi Light Therapy with gems. So I will now share my screen.
My fibromyalgia pain was significantly reduced within just a matter of 1 or 2 days. My sleep changed dramatically the very day of the treatment.
I started to feel the lights or the energy start to work on a chronic problem that I've had my whole life. It actually relieved the sinus pressure. I was really amazed.
It makes me feel truly 20 years younger. The aches in my neuropathy and legs seem to go away. I'm able to walk normally.
An overwhelming sense of just being safe and secure and happy.
Maharishi Light Therapy with gems is ancient knowledge combined with modern technology. In Ayurveda, which is the oldest existing healthcare system in the world, is more than 6,000 years old. Gems have been used to help people gain better health, to be happier, and to have a better life.
The experience with the gems at the office has been nothing less than amazing. On a physical level, they start feeling better. Their back pain that they've had for 20 years is suddenly gone. People who haven't slept forever, they can't remember the last time they had a good night's sleep. Suddenly they're sleeping through the night, they're happy, their depression is gone. So those types of things are happening.
It really works on a very physical level. Things that were bothering you aren't bothering you so much anymore. Physical things have just sort of got dissolved, and you feel lighter, you feel much more full of light.
When you look inside the gem, you'll see there's a highly orderly crystalline structure. Scientists have found that there are 7 different crystal systems, so the building block of the different gems are not the same.
Within that crystalline structure is embedded a huge amount of information from the surroundings that have been absorbed into the gem over thousands, even millions of years during its formation. Maharishi Light Therapy with gems actually uses high-quality light, very specific light, that is, in a sense, beamed through the gem and onto the individual to accelerate and amplify the effect of a gem such that you would begin to absorb and benefit from a significant amount of that intelligence.
This therapy with light coming through gems seems to have very profound effects on people's health, on their mind-body balance.
I was really stuck in my grief and knew I needed to move forward and couldn't quite do it on my own. And I was hoping that my heart could be healed with the light gem therapy. I felt like I had hands on me supporting my heart from front to back. I just felt free.
I enjoyed the experience very much. It was a wonderful, settling, soothing, nourishing experience. Light energy seemed to just go deep into my awareness and just fill me with bliss and love.
I've given almost 4,000 sessions now, and it's just been astounding to see the effect on people, both physically, emotionally, mentally, and also connecting themselves with their source spiritually.
It's beautiful and it's amazing, and it's on all levels of the physiology. My whole family does the light therapy.
Feels really good, especially when you want to be a youthful grandma.
Yes, so I think this is best through testimonials to get a feeling of how profound the effect is on the human physiology, and you can learn to become a Maharishi Light Therapy with gems practitioner through this course, and then one is able to select the proper gems in a specific situation and in a specific person. I think, Dr. Mölk, you have a few more slides to conclude this modality of Maharishi AyurVeda. So please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Picha. Yeah, after having seen this lively video about the benefits, I want to show now a few slides what you learn in that course. Maharishi Light Therapy with gems in phase 1, part 1. This is an international online course. Dr. Picha has already mentioned, normally it was in residence, but now some parts one can learn online. And 13 beamers are used. Ancient traditional knowledge is combined with modern state-of-the-art technology. And they correspond also to the planetary gems, the Navaratnas, and some additional beneficial gems. These are the 13 gems. During the course, We learn about personal experience, theoretical understanding, and what are the basic qualities of the gems. In the first week, the personal experience when you receive the gem light treatment, and then the key qualities of the gemstones, and then you study and practice and learn also to give the treatment also to others. In the course, you will also learn how the gems are produced through natural processes, and also about the 7 crystal systems and the different gems and the unique symmetry which is connected to that. So it's just a very beautiful course, because you are connected to these precious gems and get the radiance of that. One can say that the gemstones, due to their crystal organization, belong to the most orderly structures in the universe, and Maharishi Light Therapy with gems induces now this orderliness in the body, and thereby balancing and harmonizing physiological functions and creating more clarity in the mind. And there are 3 levels of indications for healthy people, just for improve greater wellness and for prevention, for people with slightly some kind of imbalance, mild symptoms, but also for sick people with a medical diagnosis, but this is then done only under supervision of a medical doctor. And the goal of the training is that you can give treatments to healthy people and to people with minor imbalances. And the course is, as I said, now already partly online possible in different phases. And I think overall, about over 100,000 treatments worldwide have already been given with this very precious and unique treatment of gem light therapy, which has been endorsed by Maharishi in 2007. It is now part of the Maharishi College of Perfect Health. Now we continue with the courses, training courses in Maharishi AyurVeda. And I will speak about this course from Dr. Karin Birz and Dr. Keith Wallace about basic introduction into Maharishi AyurVeda. It's 8 video lectures. Topics are basic principles, diet and nutrition, the rhythms of nature, rasayanas, the 3 doshas, and treatment modalities, and also about panchakarma. It is, one gets also handouts. It's 8 video lectures, and it is for the general public. And here are the different titles of the lectures. First, basic principles, and the connection also to consciousness, diet and nutrition. I wanted just to mention this course is a good complement to the 16 lesson courses which we have mentioned in the beginning, the course on diet, digestion, nutrition, and prevention course. So living in accord with the rhythms of nature, about rasayanas, the 3 doshas in daily life, the treatment modalities, and introduction to Maharishi Panchakarma treatment. It's a very lively course, interactive, and so you will enjoy it. You get also main points and summaries, here the definition of perfect health and the specific qualities of the doshas. So this is a very good addition if you want to get a short introduction into all the different approaches of Maharishi AyurVeda. And now I wanted to ask Dr. Picha also to speak about some more courses, training courses, this time for health professionals.
Yes, now we turn our attention to the health professionals. That means these are courses, they are designed for experts who have a license in their home country or wherever they like to work for diagnosing and treating diseases. So not everyone can take these courses, but of course medical doctors in many countries, also naturopaths and osteopaths, in Germany, Heilpraktiker, but also nurses, pharmacists, all those who can give consultations and diagnose, assess with Ayurvedic principles the imbalance, diagnose in Ayurvedic, and then apply Ayurvedic measurements like herbs and daily routine and so forth. These are courses for health professionals. And one course that we have that takes about a year and which always starts around April is organized through an accredited academic university in Slovenia, here in Europe. It's in the beautiful city of Maribor. There's a private academic university. It's called the Alma Mater Europaea University, where we have been invited to organize a course in Maharishi AyurVeda. And this university even offers a master degree in health sciences and integrative medicine. And this course on Maharishi AyurVeda serves, you will receive credits for this master degree. So I would like to introduce this course by showing a short video clip by the head teacher, Dr. Gordana Markovic, a Maharishi AyurVeda trained physician from Serbia, who takes the lead in this course. And she gave a beautiful introduction and inspiration for all those who want to take this course.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordana Markovic, and I'm the principal teacher of the postgraduate certificate in Maharishi AyurVeda for health professionals. The program will be held at Alma Mater Europaea University in Maribor, Slovenia, and will be taught by an international group of eminent medical doctors. The program was created by the experts of the International Maharishi AyurVeda Foundation, who have more than 30 years of clinical practice. This fully accredited program is an exciting opportunity for qualified health professionals, medical and dental doctors, naturopaths, osteopaths, chiropractors, homeopaths, clinical psychologists, psychotherapists, pharmacists, and others. During this program, you will gain a profound and comprehensive knowledge of Maharishi AyurVeda and the practical skills necessary to professionally practice Ayurveda. During this one-year-long course, you will learn about the important Ayurvedic concepts. These include the theory of 5 elements, the doshas or fundamental organizing principles in man and nature, sub-doshas, 7 tissues, individual constitutional types, plant and mineral-based medicines, daily and seasonal routines, detox in Ayurveda, Ayurvedic diet, the technologies of Maharishi Yoga Asanas, transcendental meditation, and so much more. You will acquire a rare skill of pulse diagnosis and learn how to detect the disease in its early stages of development before it has manifested in the symptoms. And of course, you will learn efficient Ayurvedic treatment modalities for numerous chronic diseases plaguing the modern man. But most importantly, you will learn how to teach your clients and your patients the art of prevention, the life in full accord with all the laws of nature. With that knowledge, they will be able to create and maintain the state of good health and live their lives in happiness and permanent fulfillment.
On behalf of my colleagues and me, I invite you to join the second European generation of postgraduate students in Ayurveda at Alma Mater Europaea, starting in spring 2022.
Yes, so I think this gives a good introduction to this course for health professionals. And I just wanted to mention that one of the main topics in Maharishi Veda in each course for health professionals is the theme of Veda in the human physiology. And Dr. Tony Nader, who will also be the course leader, of course, for the consciousness consulting course, medical doctor and a PhD in neuroscience, has written a book, a big volume, Human Physiology, Expression of Veda in Vedic Literature, which gives the profound understanding of how the human physiology is an expression actually of the vibrations of the Vedic literature. And so this is actually, Maharishi said, the main textbook in each of Maharishi Veda courses, not only for health professionals.
This is the book, the textbook of the college.
Yes, this is the title page.
Which actually is the basis of all the different approaches which we have mentioned. So it would be very valuable for everyone who wants to be trained in Maharishi AyurVeda that he studies this knowledge in addition to the classical textbooks of each discipline, because this forms the basis.
And maybe before you talk about the Veda Herb course, because you just mentioned to study, really, it's not to read, it's to study this book of Veda and the Human Physiology. There's also a course by Dr. Nader on Ramayana in the Human Physiology, which is a similar topic, but it goes through the story of the Ramayana, one of the great epics of Vedic literature, and how this is actually happening at all times in the human physiology. And there's an on-demand online course offered through the Meru International Course Program here in Holland, Europe. And this is called Ramayana in the Human Physiology, which is like, an extended course of the theme of Veda and the Human Physiology. So, Dr. Mölk, you may like to speak a little bit about a more advanced course. Once you have a basic training in Maharishi AyurVeda, you may like to go through a course that focuses on classical Vedic formulation called Veda course. And maybe you give a little bit a glimpse of this course, Dr. Mölk.
Yes, this is the course Clinical Use of Veda Herbs. It starts actually in March, 12th March to 2nd April. But it requires already that you have already some knowledge about Ayurveda, including Dravya Guna. It is on several weekends, about 20 hours, and will be conducted by Ashtavaidya Ravi Moss, the son of Divakaran Moss, the famous Vaidyas who have brought the Veda herbs as a special collection from traditional Ayurvedic herbs. And we will learn in this course 25 of these classical herbs and in great details, indications, contraindications, and how to use them, and also certain disease protocols. So this is the course on classical use of Veda herbs. I just wanted to mention also we have, regarding this course at Alma Mater, which is postgraduate course at this university, we have a similar course which is, but is specifically for the Spanish-speaking countries in South America to become a Maharishi AyurVeda Health Consultant. The material for the course is similar to that, and it is basically an online course, but at the end there will be also in-residence section required, and this will also start in, I think, around in April. It's also about 1 year long.
I would like to continue on the theme of Veda in the human physiology. We mentioned already Dr. Nader's book, Human Physiology, Expression of Veda in Vedic Literature, and also this book and course of Ramayana in the human physiology. And this is a big topic in all of Maharishi AyurVeda health professionals training to learn the basis of our physiology, which is basically made out of Veda and the Vedic hymns. And out of this research and complete understanding and the exact correspondence of all the Vedic hymns with the human physiology, there are also a few practical applications that have been developed over the last so many years. And one is called the model of Vedic physiology. This is something Maharishi has envisioned and designed, and I have been personally working together with Dr. Nader, with Maharishi and the whole team to create a life-size model of a Vedic physiology, which demonstrates the exact correspondence of the human physiology with the Vedic sounds. And there is a website, and it's actually a real model that everyone can even purchase. And we offer a few introductory courses to learn how to demonstrate this so that you get the benefit, because the knowledge is important to get the full benefit. It's a combination of the mind, of the intellect, to understand the intimate relation between the human physiology and those Vedic sounds, through the intellect and through understanding the text and the commentary, but at the same time, you see the model in front of you, and it's almost life-sized. It's quite a big model. It's an electronic model. Before, it was a full three-dimensional model with a glass skin, transparent skin, and we could see all the organs. It was turning while it was showing. But now it's a kind of a two-dimensional electronic display. And I will share with you the website so you have a little bit of a feeling how it looks like. Here you see this model, and here it looks like a picture, but it's a real model, and it has 20 kilograms. It's 100 by, I think, 100 down there. One can see 124 centimeters. So it's quite big, and it's the smallest Maharishi allowed, because if this is in front of you, it mirrors yourself. It's like you see yourself and your inner organs. And while the display is running, there's a commentary explaining all the mandalas of Rig Veda, which is one holistic aspect of the Vedic literature, which comprises the entire physiology, covers the entire physiology, all the organ systems in the human physiology, mandala after mandala. And while the commentary is explaining, this model starts blinking on the corresponding site in the physiology corresponding to that part of the Vedic literature. And then at the end of the commentary, you can even experience the Veda in yourself by listening to the Vedic hymns that correspond to that part. And while you're listening to the Vedic hymns, the part in the physiology, the model is blinking. And this has profound impact. And many people, just by viewing the model, had all kind of relief from chronic disorders or wonderful experience of soothing and warming in that area. So even people who have never had contact with Maharishi AyurVeda or meditation or with the Vedic literature, this is a quite astonishing feature of this model. And maybe, Dr. Mölk, you have a short clip recorded of this electronic model. But before, I wanted to say that Maharishi was really strongly and again emphasizing that it should be a physical model, so that can't be turned up like a computer in an electronic way in your computer. So it's a real physical model, even though it's a two-dimensional model now. This is for better price and more easy to fit in your home and in your studio and so forth. But maybe it's easier to understand if you get a glimpse, a short section of this commentary and blinking. So maybe Dr. Mölk, go ahead. I will stop sharing my screen and you can start sharing yours.
Jai Gurudev. We are viewing an illustrated chart of the human physiology, showing the exact correspondence between the structure and function of the Vedic literature and the human physiology, as discovered by His Majesty Maharaja Nadaram, under the guidance of His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. You may now enjoy a presentation of the knowledge contained in Rajaram's book, Human Physiology, Expression of Veda and the Vedic Literature. While you are listening, your attention will be brought to specific structures in the human physiology with the help of the blinking lights in the figure. This display of Vedic physiology will now illustrate the sequential unfoldment of natural law in the human body, as displayed in the sequential flow of the sounds and frequencies of the 10 mandals or chapters of Rig Veda. Now, we will begin with the first mandal of Rig Veda. The first mandal or chapter of Rig Veda corresponds to the Prakriti quality of self-referral consciousness and is represented in the physiology by the neuronal fibers within the brain and the peripheral nervous system. First, we focus on the brain, which is highlighted by the blinking light. Represented here are several groups of neuronal fibers, which weave throughout the whole brain physiology and correspond to the first mandal of Rig Veda. Next, we focus on the peripheral nervous system, represented here by the spinal nerves. Please observe the reverse side of the figure, where the spinal nerves are visible, emerging from both sides of the spinal cord through small holes between the vertebrae. Spinal nerves form a pathway for information, which has descended from the brain through the spinal cord and then emerges from the spinal cord in the form of the spinal nerves, which then reach out to the different organs of the body. Please observe that only the first few centimeters of each spinal nerve is shown in this illustration. In reality, the spinal nerves are groups of long neurons which bifurcate many times into tinier and tinier nerves in order to reach each single target cell. Each spinal nerve corresponds to a specific sukta of the first mandal of Rig Veda. The reverberations of self-referral consciousness expressed in Veda manifest themselves here as the neuronal fibers within the brain and the peripheral nervous system, including the spinal nerves, and correspond to the Prakriti quality of self-referral consciousness. Now, please enjoy a flavor of the Vedic recitation of the first mandal of Rig Veda, while the corresponding part of the physiology is indicated on the model by the colored lights.
Agnimile purohitam yajnasya deva mritvijam hota aram ratnadhatamam agnif पूर्वे भिरर्षिभिरीड्यो नूतनैरुता सदेवां एह वक्षति
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mölk. I think we can stop here showing this short introduction. And in a similar way, I mean, this was the first mandala of Rigveda, showing the peripheral and the central nervous system. And the other 9 mandalas of the 10, they show the different parts like the bones, the muscles, the heart, and the kidney, and the lungs, and so forth. So each one has the similar procedure that you hear the commentary explaining why it's located here, and then you experience directly the Vedic sounds and see the corresponding parts. So this is a very nice, could be an introduction, a display to get a feeling and to understand what it means, Veda in the human physiology, and also can be used as a therapeutic instrument because it gives relief for all those who are watching this model. So this is another theme of indirect practical application of Dr. Neder's discovery of Veda in the human physiology. Another application of the discovery by Dr. Neder of Veda in the human physiology and in several books is the Vedic sound therapy. This is a direct application of this discovery that Maharishi has designed together with Dr. Neder some 20, 25 years ago. And it uses the discovery to select Vedic hymns from the entire Vedic literature in a specific disorder. If someone has some illness or some disorder, he can go to a website, and I will start now sharing this website. It's very simple, vedicsound.org, where one can apply. This is a web-page-based technology. Here's the website, Maharishi AyurVeda or Maharishi Vedic Approach to Health. They can be similar used for the same thing. And so this vedicsound.org is the website, and it gives a little bit of introductory what it means. And you see here the textbook of Dr. Neder, Human Physiology Expression of Veda in Vedic Literature. And if you want to use it for yourself, or you want to recommend it to your family and friends, or if you're a health professional, to your patients, one could help and guide your friends and patients, or they do it themselves. Here is a catalog of disorders. It's a huge long list. So almost every disorder is mentioned here, whatever it is. You know, you can have pain following head area. So we don't go through this list. I just wanted to show there is a list of disorders, huge list. And that means you can select this, and then you would receive 9 sessions, and each are about 1 hour, some are 75 minutes, some a little shorter, 9 sessions of Vedic sounds. And these sounds is a composition from several parts of the Vedic literature that enliven that specific part of ailment or illness. If you have pain in the head, it focuses on Vedic hymns that are located in that area, or give relief of pain in the central nervous system. Whatever logic is necessary to enliven that part that brings relief. And sometimes Maharishi and Dr. Neder has used the analogy of a tuning fork. You know, if you hit the tuning fork, it gives a sound, and you can place it, let's say, on a table. And if you place the same tuning fork, same size and everything next to it, and let it be for a few seconds, and then you remove the first one and put it on mute, then the other tuning fork is still continuing in the same strength to vibrate with the same sound. This is called resonance. And in a similar way, we can imagine that this technology works, of course, on a much more subtler level of the physiology. and they enliven the inner intelligence of the human physiology, because we ourselves, our human physiology is made out of these Vedic vibrations, because, you know, in the physics, if you go down to the cell and DNA and molecule and atom and subatomic particle, and if you go more and more down, you come to the field of quantum fields, and there's only vibrations and strings. And on that level, also the Vedic sounds are, of course, active, and they resonate with your own sounds and enliven and correct. And in that way, we think this technology works. We have amazing testimonials. So this approach has been used thousands, many thousand times. And everyone who has some problem in his or her physiology can go to this website and select the disorder and receive the sounds. So we don't go into greater details how to apply, but it's an easy menu there, and you follow the instructions. And again, this is a direct application of Dr. Tony Nader's discovery of the Veda and Vedic literature in the human physiology. Another modality or aspect of Maharishi AyurVeda training is the training in Panchakarma. Panchakarma is a renowned modality of Ayurveda, which is part of the purification programs. Because Dr. Mölk mentioned already that in the physiology sometimes, due to improper digestion and stressful life, the food cannot be properly digested, and undigested food and problems in metabolism can create Aroma. Aroma literally means undigested food, and that can accumulate in the physiology and causes problems, often joint problems and all kinds of problems. And that's why Ayurveda offers seasonal purification programs. And Panchakarma is one of those applications. There are others like Amapachana, digestion of Ama, which is a herbal approach and with diet. But Panchakarma means Pancha 5 and Karma 5 activities, 5 parts, 5 different channels of purifying the physiology. And that health professionals can learn in their courses. It's an advanced training. But what I wanted to highlight now is another course, because if a health professional prescribes Panchakarma, he needs a health center or a facility where this can be done, because it involves enemas, pastis is called, and oil applications, and virechana, which means purgation therapy, which causes, through the intestine, diarrhea artificially through herbs. So there are all kinds of technology, and that needs to be done in residence. And in that facility, we need Panchakarma technician. We call them Panchakarma technician. And they have learned all these procedures of Panchakarma, all the different oil applications and enemas, and how to prepare the medicated oils that are used here. So for this, I want to show you the course overview. If you are interested in becoming a Panchakarma technician, it's a very rewarding job or work where you are in direct contact with the client or patient, and you give a lot of relief, and it's a beautiful profession. And I like to share a little bit a PDF file where it explains the syllabus, the course curriculum. This is offered through the Maharishi College of Perfect Health International, and sometimes MERU, the Maharishi European Research University here in the Netherlands. And the curriculum is basically a training that has 3 phases, and each is 3 weeks. So altogether, it's almost 9 weeks training, where you learn in theory and practice the applications of Panchakarma. And, you know, Abhyanga is one of the most famous. It's the whole body massage. In this short introductory, we don't go through all the different, but you learn all this Vedic. Picha is the kind of, you know, you're kind of showered with a warm oil. It's the royal massage technique and so many things. Shirodhara, which is the oil application on the forehead, or with dakra, with buttermilk, and for the eyes and so forth. So this is what Panchakarma technicians are learning. And so there are all these phases, phase 3 and so forth. So just want to give you a short glimpse, roughly. So you can see now a short video clip where you can see from one of our health centers in the United States, the Raj in Maharishi Vedic City near Fairfield, where these Panchakarma treatments are offered. And maybe Dr. Mölk, you show a short section about on the application of Panchakarma treatment, so you have a little bit of a feeling. If there is no sound, I can speak to it. Here you can see this is part of Abhyanga massage. And it's actually a synchronized massage by 2 technicians, which is very harmonizing. Here I've seen Shirodhara, the oil application on the forehead. It's very soothing and cooling. People are almost transcending, having great experience by the touch on the forehead. Here people speak about some testimonials, but it's just a short glimpse of how this is done with medicated oils. So this has to be done in so-called Maharishi AyurVeda Health Centers, or sometimes called as Panchakarma clinics. And we have now more and more over the world. And most recently, we have the newest one in Upper Austria. And this is worthwhile to mention specifically because this is a project that Maharishi has been working himself on it some 20 years ago. He selected the spot, the slot where we have built a beautiful landscape with suited for Vastu buildings, perfect view to the east. And maybe Dr. Mölk, you can see a picture because we just had on 5th of February the Vastu, the ceremony according to Vastu, the entering the building and first time using the fire and cooking milk. So this is the building. It's a smaller Panchakarma clinic, offers 5 in residence building, but more patients can come from outpatient if they can live nearby. So this is situated near a big forest. What you see in the background is actually the biggest forest in Central Europe. It's just adjacent to that slot, and people can walk and have the beautiful healing power of the forest. And to the other side, which is not seen here, you see hundreds of kilometers, if weather allows, to the east, even to neighboring countries, because it's sloping down gradually to the east, so no sunrise delay. And in addition, there is a hot spring, a healing water, a mineral water that has healing power, and this is also used in that center, also used for heating, geothermic heating, so there's no burning of fuels or anything, or using electricity for heating the warm water or the temperature, the room temperature. So this I just wanted to mention. In such places, we offer Panchakarma, and for this we need Panchakarma technicians. So there is work for you if you're interested to become that, and we have courses that are offered several times a year.
Now we will continue and have our last course, and this is about Maharishi AyurVeda Marma Therapy. Maharishi AyurVeda Marma Therapy, maybe some of you have known it was already once introduced in the late 1980s, but has then been discontinued. And then it was revived, and together with Dr. Ernst Schott, who developed the Sukshma Marma concept, it was refined and introduced again. And in October on the Dhanvantari Day in 2017, Dr. Nader, who is the patron of the International Maharishi AyurVeda Foundation, has officially inaugurated Maharishi AyurVeda Marma Therapy as a treatment modality of the Maharishi College of Perfect Health International. And we offer courses for the layman, for themselves, for family treatment, and then courses for health professionals and courses for Maharishi AyurVeda Panchakarma technicians. And we are now in the process to restructure the department, because in October, Dr. Ernst Schott, who was the department head, passed away. And now we have, based on his material and his teaching, to restructure the department, and also will offer the courses. And I can show you now a short video from him, which gives the basic principles of Maharishi Marma therapy.
So first I want to tell you it's really a great joy for me to be here. I was longing the last week every day to be here, because teaching Marma and teaching Maharishi AyurVeda is always a joy, because it has to be with friendliness, with happiness, with the understanding, with the bliss that you want to create in someone. So, and I hope that you will experience the bliss when you touch your marmas, or when we touch the marmas, because the real structure of marma is pure intelligence, pure happiness, it's connectedness, and it's bliss. And when you touch the marma in the correct way, as we would like to teach you, you will experience that. And also will experience that freshness which is coming by touching and treating the marma. Maharishi Marma therapy is not pressing a marma. You may know that situation in India, like acupressure, when they put the pressure on the marma. We don't want this. This is, from my experience, it is a wrong understanding, because the classical texts, they clearly say marma is the consciousness, is on the level of consciousness, and it's binding, it's in the gap, and it connects consciousness with matter. Can we connect with the internet? So Maharishi has said, in Marma, consciousness manifests into matter. This is really something. So that means it's just at the gap of consciousness, it's in between consciousness and the physical body. It's exactly on the gap. And when it's on the gap, it's like the lamp on the door. It's shining inside and it's shining outside. It shines into the consciousness and shining from consciousness into the body.
So this shows the basic principles, that it is actually consciousness-based medicine, like all the other approaches, specifically also in the Maharishi AyurVeda Marma therapy. And here was one short clip, also that you have a feeling what you will learn on these courses. This is a very gentle eye treatment, which you can do also on yourself. Because not only that you can treat others, but also on yourself, especially in the basic course for family care. And then, of course, we go into all these different other areas.
Here are the names listed of these, the marmas which are treated. These are 9 marmas or 9 areas. Adipati, Stapani, then the eye marmas. Then there's a marma which is called Shringataka. Shringataka basically is on the soft palate, but there we cannot give a treatment. So there's a reference point in the area of the sinuses, of the maxillary sinuses. You don't have to care about that much, because you place the whole palm there. So we'll touch it definitely. Then Kanta Nadi, this is this place here, And this Kanta Nadi is regulating the speaking, the voice, and is a connecting point between the neck and the chest organs. Then Hridaya, the heart, Nabi.
So just that have an impression how gentle the whole treatment is and how sophisticated the teaching is. For health professionals, these are 3 weekends. And also for Panchakarma technicians, this is similar or even longer, also in 2 phases. And for the general public, for non-health professionals, 1 weekend. And with the possibility later also to have more courses. So this was about Maharishi AyurVeda Marma therapy.
And finally, we wanted to mention a few other courses that are available, also online. And I wanted for this to share the MERU website, the Maharishi European Research University, which offers also several courses. And I will share the website and go through a few courses that are health related. You will see other courses, but we focus now on the health-related courses. We have already mentioned the clinical use of Veda herbs. Dr. Mölk went into this advanced course for health professionals. But then here I wanted to mention there's a course on gardening in the light of Maharishi AyurVeda. So this is, of course, very important because food and also properly grown organic Vedic food is important for good health. And this is actually here the course description is the first ever online course in Maharishi Vedic organic agriculture. And Dr. Peter Swan, who is the expert, guides you through the course. And it connects gardening with Maharishi AyurVeda. And it brings the relationship between soil fertility, consciousness, and health. So this is complementary to all Maharishi AyurVeda courses because using this type of perfect food, organic, Vedic organic food is preventive. It focuses on creating ideal health by creating balance through lifestyle factors such as diet. So we need high quality, nutritious food. And this is a wonderful course on Vedic gardening. So this is this course. Then I mentioned already there are 9 in the human physiology. It's an on-demand course. It means anytime you are free, you can listen to this course by Dr. Tony Nader. The course is on astrology. So this is just, and I just finally wanted to mention this course on Vedic dance, which maybe in the first moment sounds like has nothing to do with Ayurveda, but Maharishi actually introduced a department of Vedic dance of the Maharishi College of Perfect Health International. And you can just see here a PDF file that is now shared by Dr. Mölk, and it announces the Department of Dance Therapy. And this is the effect, and the practical application is twofold. One is for those who learn Vedic dance. It's predominantly ladies, but also for men. Those who are practicing and performing Vedic dance postures, it's like, you know, when you see the hands, they're like mudras, special postures and mudras that enhance health in the person performing these postures and Vedic dance performances. So it brings balance and brings mind and body into balance by performing. But interestingly, those who view Vedic dance, they get almost the same effect. And there are specific dance activities or forms that focus on specific type of diseases and imbalances according to the Ayurvedic dosha system. So this is a course that is offered through MERU. You can learn a little bit the first steps to become, a practitioner or performer of Vedic dance. And once we have a big, Maharishi Health Center where we have all the modalities of Maharishi AyurVeda, this could be offered as a theater, a performance where people come and view, and people will benefit for themselves just by viewing the Vedic dance performances. So this is just to complement all the other courses I wanted to mention, and you can view them here on this website, Meru International Course Overview.
Here we see the ideal hospital, which has been developed by Maharishi, and we have worked very long on that, also with renowned architects, hospital architects, where all these different approaches, which we have mentioned today, are integrated and offered together with modern medicine. So it's really a truly integrative medicine hospital, which combines the best of all these different modalities. It's a large building, and you see these different courtyards, and ideally each patient has a separate room where he gets the treatment and where he can stay and sleep. And there's a lot of light there. Maybe also Dr. Picha has some remarks to that special model.
Yes, that was an inspiring time when we worked with Maharishi on that model, and he employed, experts, real hospital architects together with our Vastu architects. And this came out, a huge flat building with glass roof, so that everywhere in the building it's very shiny, the sun shines in every corner of that building. And it's called Maharishi Health Center for Integrative Medicine. That means in that building are all the Ayurvedic modalities, everything that we mentioned today, the courses at least, and these experts are working in that building. But there's also, because it means integrated health center, there is also the modern wing where there's even a surgery department, operating theater. There's an emergency department where ambulances and severe acute diseases could come. And there's all these diagnostic instruments and technologies like MRI and computer tomography and positron emission tomography, all this equipment and all the experts of modern medicine are there that can handle difficult cases in an integrated way. And sometimes we have to use approaches from both modern and traditional Ayurveda medicine. And this is all happening here. And so this is the ideal of healthcare. We never forget this ideal and ideal building. And so we hope we see this soon. And with the awareness of the importance of preventing disease and using integrative healthcare to really have this building realized sometime in the near future.
So here then to conclude our presentation, what we have shown in the beginning, an overview of all the different approaches covering all areas or levels of health, a multimodality approach of Maharishi AyurVeda covering the whole range of natural law, balancing all levels of health, with the goal to restore the connection between the body and its source in consciousness. So Maharishi AyurVeda and all these different disciplines, truly consciousness-based medicine.